record it?
Yeah, I will. We call the audio. Can I?
It can. No problem.
Yes, because I will not show your name on the report. Just I will say like A, B, C, D,
Yes.
and I will not show your details name. Yeah, is that okay?
No problem.
Okay.
Even if I tell my name,
No problem.
no problem.
Okay. Okay. So the first.
Let's try this first. Another page.
Just
tayo.
after interview.
It's no longer good.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
cold.
So okay. Be first.
Yeah.
Oh, let me text very fast. The first question is, when did you come to Macau and why?
I came to Macau last August 25,
Uh-huh.
2014.
Uh-huh.
I came to Macau because for working.
Uh-huh.
Then, because I heard that Macau have a good job and high salary. That's the main reason why I came here.
You seem so nervous.
No. Very serious.
So how did you find a job in Macau?
Actually, there's a website in the
Uh-huh.
Philippines, working agency that specializes in sending people going to Macau. That agency is the one I think holding most of the hotel companies here in Macau. Someone referred the agency to me, then I just one day I just walk in the agency, then try my luck.
Yes. So did you work another place before?
In the Philippines,
In the Philippines.
only in the Philippines. I work in also hotels.
Okay. So what's your job in Macau?
Now my job in Macau is a bartender in Venetian. Yeah.
So during last year is also same job.
Last year also same job. I work at Venetian going 4 years now.
Yes. So do you like your job in Macau? Enjoy your job?
Yes, I enjoy my job.
Oh, sorry. Do you enjoy your life in Macau?
So far life in Macau, it's more for me private, and because unlike in the Philippines, for example, in Macau, the place for me is more relaxing, more calm. I mean, you're just more focused on working. Then after your work, you go home, you rest. Then when you're off or rest day, you just enjoy. You just go out, just leisure like that.
So did you have any problem at the very beginning?
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of problem?
For example, of course, when I first came in Macau, I only have limited budget or salary. I mean, I need to save that money in order to survive for almost 2 months. That's the first thing. And then secondly, looking for house. Because I think in Macau, that's the hardest part there. Looking for house. At first, I start at, a bed space. Then all of a sudden, I get when I have salary increase, then I meet someone who we could share a room. Then we rent a room. Then now we're renting. I have my own flat.
So how did you find your home? Find your
Home, because usually in the Facebook, we have a group there, a Filipino group that usually posts anything, sells anything. For example, they are posting a house for rent, flat for rent. Then now my house, she just posts in Facebook actually. Then she's an agent, a Chinese agent. Then she's the one who gives us houses that we could choose from. Then she's the one making deal with the agency.
So you just go to meet the agents.
We meet the agent, then we walk, then we go, for example, different houses. I have a house here. You look first. If you like, then we will have deal with the owner or with the agency like that.
So I saw you also live with your friends?
Yeah.
And how
Yes,
how,
because
how did you meet?
actually the housemates that we have, we are roommates before. So I mean our room is just beside each other. Then when I decide to get a flat, because they're also planning to transfer also, I asked them if we could they could share with us, because me alone I cannot get the flat alone, because usually they would get a high high money, like the 2 months deposit, the 1 month advance, then the agency fee. Usually if it's referred from an agency, usually it's equivalent to 4 months pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your roommates is your. So you know your roommate before in
Yes.
Philippines or in Macau?
Only in Macau.
In Macau.
We just know.
So how do you make the roommates?
So,
At the very beginning.
yeah, I mean, we are roommates before. I mean, we just share a room. I mean, this is my room. Then the next room it's there.
Okay.
Then now we live together, but I mean we own the whole flat. Then, but of course, different. 3 rooms now. 3 rooms. Then we get another border. If I mean, if they could share also the payment with us, and that's why we get another roommates.
Yes. So, did you understand Cantonese or Mandarin?
Actually, right now I'm still studying Cantonese. I'm enrolled in a Cantonese lesson, but so far it's quite too hard.
Okay.
Because I believe Cantonese and Mandarin is one of the hardest language to be learned.
Okay.
But
So-
I understand some. For example, you tell a Cantonese word. If I am familiar with it, I can understand.
So, can you read the Chinese?
No,
Okay.
I cannot read.
Okay. Do you because at very times come to Macau? Do you know how to like take bus?
Yes.
How did you seek help for?
At first, no. Seeking help maybe once, but you know, here in Macau it's very convenient. Taking a bus, for example, there's a bus apps, right? It's very, because in the Philippines we don't have like that. Then in the bus station, all of the details where you want to go, and where from the point where your house then to the place where you're going, it's very convenient. And secondly, Macau is very small.
Okay. But who told you that there's a bus app?
My friend, my workmate, he tell me that you download it, because usually it's more convenient for us, for me also, because for example, right now I'm in this place, then I want to go to that place at exact time, then you will just look at the bus, where is the bus now.
Okay. Yes. So, because you have how many co-worker do you have in the restaurant?
In the restaurant itself, I think maybe 40
Oh wow.
40 staff, maybe. I'm not sure. But if in the other department where I really belong, because me in the restaurant, there's a food side and a beverage side. I'm on the beverage side. In the beverage side, we're only 8. But the restaurant staff, it's, I said that 32, like
Yeah.
that. Then, but if I go to the other department, we are almost 100.
Wow. So do you know where they come from?
Yeah, some from India, from Nepal, Vietnam, then Filipino. Then some locals, from Macanese. Then some from mainland also.
So who told you there's a bus stop?
Who told me? Filipino friend.
Filipino friends.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get along well with your co-workers?
Yes,
Okay.
so far.
So, also the local guys, they are nice. Do you think
Yes,
they are nice?
local guys are nice also.
Okay.
Because you know, some of at first we are, you know, we are apart from the local because they are local. But when we know them, we get used to it already. Yeah, they're very funny, crazy also,
Okay.
and very nice. But yeah,
Yes. Okay. So, so you live in the very top side, the
Yeah.
top side
Yes.
in the building.
yes.
So do you know the neighbors downstairs?
No,
Okay.
we don't know, but I believe in our building we are the only Filipinos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the top side, most of them are Chinese. I
Oh,
think.
okay. So yes. Okay. So you said that you acknowledge the weather report before the typhoon comes.
Mm.
So how did you get the weather report?
From the application also, the cell phone apps. Usually, our boss tell us that you should download the weather apps so at least you will be informed because if whether you will go to work or not, because in my company, if it's only typhoon 3, we would still really need to go to work.
Yeah.
But if of course it's typhoon 8, no need to go to work. If you're just stay at home, then after the typhoon 8 goes down, like became T3, we should go to work or inform them or call them 2 hours before. Because for example, my work is from 2 to 10, then the typhoon is the T8 is 2 p.m. till 4. So by 6 o'clock, I should go to work.
Okay.
I need to finish my work from 6 to 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. So you pay attention to the weather report
yeah,
usually?
very important.
Yeah, very important.
Very important, especially at work. Because for example, if you are at work when the typhoon 8 hits, you cannot go home. You are on a standby mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Standby because, for example, the typhoon lasts for 8 hours. So the one who is on the working on the ship, you will be the one to replace them. You know, the rotation is only between, for example, 2 people. After, for example, I work first from 2 to 10. Then the next shift is 10 to 6. If there's a typhoon between 2 to 10, after I work, I would rest. Then after the one who replaced me, 10 to 6, after his shift of 6 a.m., I would go again to work
Okay.
from 6 to 2.
Yeah. Wow. So, do you read the local Macau news usually?
No.
Do you pay attention to the local Macau news?
Since I am subscribed in the TDM news in Facebook, sometimes I'm interested in watching some news clips. But reading,
Okay.
not quite.
Okay. So how do you know there's a TDN news in English? Who told you?
Actually, in the Facebook group, there's I usually saw some. If for example, if the description is Chinese, I know it's a Chinese. If Portuguese, the description first of the news is also Portuguese. But if it's English, there's also the subtitle.
The subtitle, the
Yeah.
translation.
Translation.
Yeah. So you know the TDN news
Yeah.
in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
So how many people in the group? How many?
Quite so many.
So many.
I think so. I'm not sure, but I think it's quite many.
Oh. No, I mean in Facebook group, in your Filipino Facebook group.
In our
In our account?
in our Filipino Facebook group, so many.
Yeah.
So many.
I think almost 50,000 or maybe more, 70,000.
1.3?
Hmm?
No.
What?
So can you check?
You search for the Bahay Kubo.
Bahay Kubo, wait.
We name it Bahay Kubo. The Facebook group, Bahay Kubo. But you should...
66,028 members. This is one group.
So
The
you
other group is 25,458.
can you cap the picture and send?
Okay, no problem.
So you know the everything about Macau in these two
Yes.
Facebook group.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes there's the admin of the group, the owner of the group. Sometimes usually post the information for example, the news from our Philippines consulate, what's happening now in Macau. For example, what's happening, the changes in the bus payment or some rules. That's they just giving information, and sometimes the exchange rate of money. Yeah,
They will
sometimes
post it.
they will post it.
Do you know the owner? Who is the owner?
I don't know.
You don't know, but how do you know this Facebook group?
I think it's common when you first came here in Macau. For me, my friend tell me, you add this group so you will be informed about what's happening in the Filipino community. You will be aware, like that.
So,
And also, if you want, for example, looking for houses, looking for to buy anything.
Anything that you
yes.
need.
But so your friends come to Macau for many years.
He is ahead from me by 2 years. When I came here, he's already 2 or 3 years here in Macau.
So he knows the Macau
Yeah,
very,
he's
very well.
very well accustomed to Macau already.
Okay. So now the next part is about your experience during the Typhoon
Typhoon.
Haptu. Yes. Do you know the Typhoon Haptu will hit the Macau before it can?
I heard it will hit Macau because I told you the night before the typhoon, I heard already that there is a strong typhoon. When I look at the weather forecast in the apps, it's only T3. When I wake up in the morning, during the day of the typhoon, it's only T3, still the same, but there is already a strong rain, heavy rain. Then after that, a strong wind. Yeah.
So you check the apps.
I check the apps almost every day because that's the reason also if I need to go to work.
Okay.
Then I'm also calling, of course, my company. Hey, do you still have a shuttle bus there? Or maybe I need to ride the public bus to go to work. Then they just say, just stand by because it's only T3, but the rain is very strong. So then all of a sudden, after an hour, T3 became T8, then T10 or T9, then T11.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah. So you only pay attention to typhoon news
Typhoon
by
news.
the apps.
By the apps, yes.
Okay. So, tell me what you experienced then
Okay,
when the typhoon really came to Macau.
So first, when the typhoon came to Macau, it hits. I remember it hits the T11 or T12 news. It's around 11 a.m. Then, I live in a rooftop house. Then, strong wind, heavy rain is already coming. Then our ceiling is already moving up and down. Then some of our things outside our house already moving on its own, like the washing machine, the tables and chairs, like that. Then it lasted for almost an hour, the wind and the rain. Then when we go outside, we saw the whole Sansan Park flooded already. Then the floods already as high as a bus, then still going going up more and more. Then after a few minutes only, it started to rain again, strong wind. Then if I remember, the typhoon stops around 3 p.m., something like that, 3 or 4. Then then also during the typhoon, I try to go look. I go down. I cannot really go down already because the water is so high already. Then around 3 p.m. or 4, the electric shut down. Then no more communication, no more signal. Then after that, around night time, that's the time water also came out. When I go out around that time, 4 p.m., most of the people are shocked. They can't believe what's happened. Some restaurants, I don't know how to tell it. The restaurants with the living fish, fish in the aquarium. The aquarium's broken, so most of the fish are in the streets already. Then most of the convenience store,
Like 7-Eleven.
like the 7-Eleven or the Sunsco near us, most of it is damage already. Then some of the people who are living in the basement or first floor of their house, I mean, they are really shocked. They can't believe what happened. All of the things are wet. All of the appliances, they just throw it.
Mm-hmm.
Their clothes.
I mean, they really can't believe what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I experienced from the Macanese people. Yeah, but for us, for the Filipino people, it's quite different. I mean, we are shocked of what happened, but we are used to it. We always say, we thought this is only happening in the Philippines, especially for the people who are more who stay in Macau for longer. They said this is the first time that it happens to Macau. Yeah. Then after it, of course, during the day, we still, me personally, we still have enough food for us. But during the next day, it's hard for us already how to get water first, because water is very important. I heard that most of the Filipinos is the one who broke the rule here. For example, by opening, the water hydrant in all the houses, because of course there is a water stored there, right? Then that's the time most of the Filipinos just open it, or not only Filipinos. I think when the Chinese also saw that,
Many people do that.
they open it, then they get water from there. Me personally, I experienced it. The water container for the mineral water, the big one. Every day, I refill at least 5 of it. Then from first floor going to 5th floor, I carry it alone.
So to buy the water or take
No, water only for taking a bath.
from you? How did you get the water?
We get
From the fire hydrant, or from the water hydrant. We
Water
just
hydrant.
we take the key, then we wait.
Yeah, but how did you know that many people did the same thing? They could break the fire hydrant. How did you, from which media or which channel?
No, just from the talk, or
You see many
you
people
see
do.
it, many people. For example, I have a friend. He tell me he's near a water hydrant. I think this hydrant have water. You just get a wrench without any notice. And he opened it, then water came out. Then when he say at first he's the only one getting water, but when many people already saw it, they form a queue. Then they just
Where do you get the water?
then when they pass by, where did you get the water? Like that.
So you don't know where to get water.
At first we don't know,
Okay.
but when we heard where we can get water, for example, I think on the second day or in the third day, there's already a fire truck. that's giving water. Fire truck, that water is for taking a bath, for washing clothes.
They stand by
They stand by on the in the they stop in front of the park. Then many people form a queue to get the water.
So you see the fire jumps, then
Yeah.
you know there's a water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then beside the fire truck, there's also a van, closed van that gives a mineral water. One person they give at least 2 bottles.
So how did you had meal during that time? Because the electric and water is shut down. How did you
For me, our we can still cook because we use the the portable, the butane. That's how we cook it. But even rice we cook it that way. And sometimes because my housemate is a chef, so he brings foods from his work to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how about the electric power? Electric power.
Electric
Because-
problem
yes.
is very hard because that time around like this that happened like September, right? It's summer. So or August.
August 23.
August is it August 23?
Yes.
The typhoon. I forgot what
August 23.
exact date. The typhoon
August
hits
23.
August 23. Then it's very hard because that time it's very hot. Then it's very not because since we live in Macau, we are very used in staying in an aircon house. But for me personally, it's very hard. I cannot sleep without aircon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So you don't know when will the
we don't
electric
know.
come
We
back
don't know.
from now to the end.
Yeah, because
you don't-
we just getting news. We're just asking from.
Agency.
We asked we asked our agency at house, but they don't have a idea also.
Any idea on
Then
when will the electricity come?
Then when I go to work, I ask some of my friends, do you have already electricity in Taipa? Yes, we already have. How about you from Red Market? Some area in Red Market have, some not yet. Then some friends from Paichike, they said they have. But I think the last part is the one from us, from Makok area,
Yeah.
from Bara area, then Ponte Horta. I think that's the last one because San Malo, even
Yeah.
the high area in San Malo already
Yeah.
have electric.
So how did you? So you don't have any electric power?
No electric power.
Uh-huh.
No signal already have. I think in the 3rd day.
In the 3 day later? Okay.
After 3 days, then I think I forgot which is first, the water or electric.
The first is electric.
Electric first is
And
the
the
first
last
one.
is the
The last
water.
is the water.
But
But if I would have a choice, I think water should be first.
okay.
because,
rather than
because we can live without electric. Water is very hard to do things.
Yes. So you get water from the fire jumps every day.
Every day, we do it for at least 4 days.
Okay. Yes. So did you seek help to your neighbors?
No,
Why?
because I know they're also having a hard time to get water also, or maybe to get food. And also I noticed that when the typhoon came, the drinking water, wow, most of the people do panic buying. In the supermarket, they buy all the foods, all the water. They because most of the people are not ready. They don't prepare for that kind of calamity. That's why it's very hard. For example, me, or no, not me. I heard from my friends, they're living in Makok, but they buy water from Red Market
Okay. Yes.
because most of the stores in Bara area or in San Malo don't have water anymore. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Did you ask your friends about the news?
Yes, we were asking about, for example, friends who have electric. I mean, wow, what is the news now? Because me, I just get a signal or a Wi-Fi in my work. That's the time I could get news.
So you only ask for your friends.
Yes.
But how did your friend know the news? Did you know?
From cell phone updates also, or
TDM news.
or sometimes most of my friends also are subscribed with the TDM news.
Oh, so
And also from the information of our company. Our company is giving updates on what's happening now.
So what did you get from your company about
Uh,
news?
about the news, what's happening now, when is the what area have would have the electric supply, then after the typhoon, what are the helps they can provide for the staffs that are affected. Yeah.
So they send you message or there's a blackboard.
Blackboard, bulletin.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you only get the news from your company and
From the company, yeah, and from the phone, updates on the internet, yeah.
So you
Search, yeah.
searching the Facebook or the Google?
Me, mostly Facebook.
Facebook.
Yes.
In the Facebook group or what?
No, in TDM.
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 So TDN English channel.
English channel, yes.
So it posts
Updates.
updates
Post updates, time to time.
the
The latest, yes.
Okay. Fine. So what's your most concern after the typhoon left? What did you worry about actually? What are you most worried about?
After the typhoon itself, I worry about at first the supply of the water, because I heard that the water supply would take a long time before go back to normal, because of they need to treat the water, because the water became very very dirty. I think the water supply in Hoiwan area or Faichike area, I think there is that is the water supply, right? I heard, I expect it already also, but what to do? Just wait for it. Me personally, sometimes I just take a shower at my work. Before, I mean, I go to work early, then I take shower there,
Okay.
because that's the most convenient thing for me. Then before go after work, take shower again, then go home. But also in my work itself, they do experience a problem with the water. Can you imagine a big hotel? The water supply is very limited, no aircon, or there's aircon but very low power. Then it happens for at least 2 days. I remember like that. Inside the casino area, very hot.
Yes. But you say that you can take shower in the company, so your company allows you.
Yes, because the company knows that many people are affected to it. That's why they provide some help for the company. Like if you cannot go home, there is a sleeping area there that they give you a mattress. What do you say that
The
comforter? Yeah, they provide it for you. That's the help of the company, and I think also they provide help if that I think they will give you money to start again, if just send I think a picture of what happens to your house. I think I heard they give that, but most of the beneficiaries of that is the local people, the subsidy.
Where from how did you get this news? The government
They-
will.
That news regarding
Yeah,
the
yeah.
help from the company. The company will
Oh,
give the money for you to for the recovery, but they need you to provide
Supporting documents.
supporting documents like pictures,
An
mostly maybe
evidence or
pictures or
proof.
pictures, because even if you really experience that calamity, if you don't have strong evidence, nothing. Maybe you will not get something. Like what happened to my friend, my workmate. She when the typhoon comes, she is at work. Of course, cannot go home, right? For I think 16 hours or maybe 24 hours. Then when the time she can go home already, her house is full of water. Of course, she cannot did not save anything. Even her passport, even her clothes, documents, nothing, because that time she's at work. But when she heard that there is a news like that, she tried, but I think the company
Regret it.
rejected it because she don't have any
Evidence.
evidence like that.
Oh, so how did he
How did-
how did she solve
We
the problem?
I don't know also, but I think I remember we gave some money for her, like just to start. For example, during that day, since she don't have any place to sleep, I think she sleeps over in one of my friends' houses also. Then after the typhoon, we just they just help each other. They clean the house, and start again.
Okay. So who organized the donation to her?
Not I mean just a common talk. Maybe we should give contribution to her. Not no one organized, but just because you're a friend, maybe I just give you money, or maybe this could help you a little.
An initiative.
Initiative, that's initiative.
So you give her money
Yes. Yeah.
separately.
Individually.
Individually.
Okay.
Not that big enough money, but for some, maybe I give you 200 or 300. I'm sorry if this is only what I can give, but I hope this could help you. Like that, something like that. Just to start, you should lose everything, or not lose everything, but
A part of her loose.
a part of her lose. That feeling.
Wow. So
For example, in her houses, she have like gadgets or appliances already. Well, what to do already? I just throw it.
yes.
Because some of it usually is your investment, right from your work. It came from your salary.
So did your house be destroyed during the typhoon?
No.
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 So you are so lucky.
We are very lucky, still very lucky, because even though our house is at the rooftop, we still experience the typhoon because we thought we will lose a roof already. We thought already our roof will fall apart.
Yeah. But so interesting because you mentioned that you very worried about the water. Will not go bad. Where did you get the news about the water problem? Like the floor view?
Usually from mostly the how do you say that, the news that the gossip. Gossip.
The hearsay.
The hearsay.
Hearsay.
For
The gossip,
example,
the
you are not really sure. You don't, but you will
The
tell
fake
me.
news. The
Fake
Oh,
news.
no, I mean from where? From your friends?
Oh,
or
from friends also.
So you message each other or?
No, for example, at work. Hey, how are you?
Okay.
What happened to your house?
A casual conversation.
Casual talk.
Oh, so when you are on duty, you will check.
Of course,
check.
of course, that time the most common talk is the
About the typhoon.
what is your experience?
Okay.
How are you during the typhoon?
Uh-huh.
Or for example, hey, how are you? What happened to you at your house? Like this, like that. Then I heard there will be no water for 3 days. Like that. But I don't know if it's true or.
Okay.
But she said she heard like that.
Okay. So So
Of course, that time, since no internet, we really don't know what's happening. We mostly believe that.
yes.
Yeah.
So from the very beginning to the end, you didn't get any information from government directly.
Yes.
You just only heard about the gossip.
We are not so sure
Everything.
about.
We are not so sure, but
when the water supply
when we
will
about the
get
water supply, we are not really sure. But if, for example, I get a Wi-Fi, then I search for internet. Sometimes I'm looking for in the TDM news. I remember they are only telling what is, for example, what are the affected families or what happened in that area. But the exact news, I heard it about the water supply. I heard it maybe after 3 days already.
There's giving the
But
estimation.
they gave the estimation date, for example, around this day, around this time.
But they are not specifying, or maybe they are not giving the exact date and time when the water supply will get back.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Let me think. So because you stayed at home.
Yes, that time.
So can you talk?
I visited him that time, and then maybe I am very particular in that date because that's my last visa staying in Macau. So I'm so worried because I told him that what happened when I will go to go and to take my U-turn because that's the day.
You know, she's a tourist, right?
I'm a tourist.
And if
I'm just
she finishes
visiting.
her 30 days visa, she need to
U-turn.
You know that, right? Usually, most of us U-turn
In Fartas or
Hongdae,
Shuhai.
Hongdae or going to Shuhai. Just that time, she is really worried. How can she
Go.
go U-turn?
Okay.
How can I go on that
If
day?
have a strong typhoon,
Okay.
maybe the border gate
Okay.
Or close.
is closed.
Okay.
Then eventually on that date, August 23, I have maybe 2 days left. Then after the typhoon arrived. So as I see the typhoon, I told him, what happened next? Is this the ordinary thing happen in Macau? Do you experience this kind of typhoon, a super typhoon? Because in the Philippines, as you've heard earlier, we already experienced a lot of calamities, earthquake, typhoon, and flood. So we're very familiar in that experience. And then the biggest, maybe the most memorable experience that I experienced here is when I experienced from my life to fetch water from the hydrant that I don't do in our hometown in the Philippines. I experienced that. It is very hard because I don't experience that. And then even to get hungry because I don't like to get hungry.
Hungry? Why?
Because I am afraid that there is no food that we can buy outside. Because there is a lot of people who are panic buying, which when you go to the store, you cannot buy anything because some of the people used to buy a lot of goods, even the canned goods.
There is some, for example, supermarket. For example, in Bara market, they sell fish. But you know that the fish is sink in the water during the typhoon, but they sell it very, very cheap.
And
So,
you cannot tell if
It's
it's
still safe to eat.
still safe to eat. Or maybe you get toxic or you get poison after you eat that. And then, what happened next? Then afterward, we have no water, we have no electricity for 3 to 4 days. So, I need to wait him to fetch a water. Then, I can go to a shower.
Okay.
Because after the typhoon, I go to work. Then of course, she's a girl. She cannot get water from downstairs going to fifth floor. That's why she wait for me to get water. After my work, I go to the queue to get water.
Okay.
Then at least I bring five,
Five
five,
gallons
the five water container for us for shower. Then just doing the restroom thing, right?
Yeah.
Because we cannot wash also our clothes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So many clothes in a washing machine.
It's hard to clean the house
Yeah.
without water.
Yeah. But actually, you say that you are worried about you will be hungry because there's no food. But
Yes.
your housemate cook the dinner.
Yes,
Because
that's a
it
good
takes-
thing happened because our housemate is a chef in one
One of the Filipino.
Filipino food house here in Macau. When he go home, he bring a lot of food from his work, so that luckily I don't feel hungry that time.
Okay. Yes.
But I think the most tremendous thing that I also experience is when I see the tornado from our balcony, because we live in the rooftop, right? And then
So the tornado.
I see a table, a big table outside. Then we see it's go round and round, and even the washing machine are thrown up away from the balcony. So I said that, oh, there's a tornado, because as you see, the wind is going round and round,
Yes.
and that's one of the most dangerous thing that can happen when there is a typhoon, because it can bring a typhoon to be more stronger, and the water far down too strong when there is a tornado.
Yes. So, how did you? So you faced the typhoon with your housemate together.
Yes.
So after the typhoon, what did you do something to salute the water and the electric problem with your housemate?
Yes, we're seeking from the other Filipinos who have electricity. Like our housemate, her name is Jenny. She have a fraternity here in Macau,
She have a groups
a groups, organization.
organization here in Macau.
Group, the Facebook group,
No.
No.
Local
organization.
For example, every Saturday or every Sunday they meet together like that. And most of them are Filipinos. And that's her way of getting news. For example, hey, my friend, do you have water in your area, or do you have electricity? Maybe we could, for example, just charge our cell phone or get water there, or maybe just take a bath there. Yeah, that's the way they help us, or she help us. Then, for example, her friend also, we're also asking, hey, maybe do you know a place where we can get water where there's only a small queue, because most of the queue in the
Lane.
it's very long in the Bara area or San Malo area. It's too long. Maybe even if it's quite far, at least we could get water very easy.
Very easy. Compare that we are needed to wait for the long lane. So we look for another place that we can get water easily.
So you asked your housemate.
Yes.
So what kind of the organization he had? It's like a religion organization or the
It is about a brotherhood
And
sisterhood organization, like sorority.
Wow.
Yeah, they have this group in Macau.
So he give you a strong support about it.
Yeah, and also for example.
Yes, luckily we have a support from them, but personally we don't like to get involved in their group, because that group is particularly is from their province. Because in the Philippines we have different province, right? And different provinces have their brotherhood and sisterhood. So they're from the north, and I am from the south, and he's from NCR. So, so eventually, if we going to get involved in their group, maybe it feel awkward for us because first we don't understand their dialect,
Okay.
and secondly,
They speak differently.
Yeah.
differently.
But during the, for example, I mean, during the typhoon itself, they don't see. I mean, even though we are different to them, they help us
They help us.
by giving information, where to get water, where we could. What is happening now, because some of them are more updated, because maybe at their house they have electric, they have signal, because us in the Sun Park area, we really don't have.
But I remember that time, that group, if I am not mistaken, that group is doing a charity. They are organized giving food also for the people.
Because I think we remember one of their
their
member is I think a helper or a chef,
A chef.
in a Portuguese restaurant in Taipa,
Old Taipa.
in Old Taipa. I think the owner itself is tell them that
want to give food.
they would pack foods, then give this to the people in your area. Then they
And
do
that
it.
time we are helping to distribute the food from the people.
Also, you help the.
Yes, we have photo.
Okay.
Yes.
So where did you give?
In front of Sansan,
In front of the highway.
in the highway,
Okay.
we are place the food, and afterwards when we prepare already the food, and when there is a people walking or asking, we're giving the food and
Okay.
even water.
Okay.
No, the food is not quite too many. At least maybe 100.
It's like this.
It's like
Okay.
that, like this. Maybe
One
100,
pack.
100 packs, or maybe 200 packs
200
of
packs.
packs of food.
But
For 2 days, I
It
think.
runs 2 days.
2 days.
It runs 2 days.
Okay. So, did you get into any brotherhood or any organization before in
No.
Macau?
No.
So even the religion organization?
No.
Okay.
Because me, I am a Roman Catholic.
Uh-huh.
He is also a Roman Catholic.
Okay.
And we believe that if we die, we want to be a Catholic also.
Okay.
Because for us, we don't discriminate or we don't degrade any religion as we respect it. But we believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
As much as you believe in one God, there's no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Just respect them so that they will respect you back.
Yes. Okay. So, what did you usually do in your weekend? During your weekend?
Our weekend, what?
Your duty off, when you did
Me,
leisure time.
usually, if have during weekend, sometimes just wash clothes, just clean the house, or sometimes you just feel like staying in the house, or sleeping. But if a friend is asking, let's go out, maybe go to another friend's house, drink a little, or maybe just hang out, just like that.
Okay. So you meet the friends in Macau or in
In
Philippines?
Macau.
In Macau.
Mostly in Macau.
How did you meet them?
In work.
Work.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Usually they are
co-workers.
co-workers also.
Okay. Okay.
Because for us as foreigners in this country, your co-workers is your friend also, and if
Even a family.
even a family also, extended family
Standard family.
already, like that. Because we are for example, we are only Filipinos, so we should, as Filipinos, we are the only one who help each other, like
Okay.
that.
Yes. So during the typhoon, do you know what happened to your friends?
Yes, I heard some news about, for example, my friend, that the one I'm telling you about, girl co-worker, that what happened to her
yeah.
house.
Yeah. Another?
Yes, so one of my friends in in near the red market area also. And one of my friend also near in my place in Sansan Park. His house is basement.
Okay.
So the water, all of us, he's at his house. Then he just saw a flood already in
Hi.
at first. He is sleeping. When he wake up, the flood is already at his leg part.
Okay.
Like, or
Then all of a sudden, the water rises very fast.
Okay.
Then when he go outside, it's very high already. That's why he didn't bring anything already. Just go out because maybe if he stay there, he will die inside his house.
So he lost everything.
He lost
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
Even his shoes, his collection of
Okay.
shoes. Yeah, he lost everything.
Okay. Okay. So it's really unlucky.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think, but he is lucky enough because, he is very close to our boss. I think our boss is give him a good chunk of money just to start.
So,
I mean, it's a personal money.
yeah. What do your boss come from? He's a local guy or no? No.
He's not a
From-
local guy
from other country.
other country
From
also.
country. Okay. Fine. Yes. So, if there's another typhoon in Macau, do you know
Hopefully not.
how to
how to prepare?
how to survive?
Yes, of course. Of course, as you heard the news, there's a typhoon coming. So first, you will prepare your medical kit, the charger, the power bank, the passport, so the important documents, and even to save some clothes to wear it when there is a typhoon arrive, and even food also and water.
Yeah.
And also be aware on what is happening around
Yeah.
and to your environment, because nothing can say what happen next if the typhoon will come. But I think that the Macau government is now prepared rather than to compare to what happened last year, because they already experienced, and that is one awakening for them to prepare for this kind of calamity.
Yes. Okay, I will ask you the last question that did the local government or the local political person or local NGO pay attention to your situation? Do you think?
Yes, I think that the local government or the NGO here in Macau already pay attention, because as I observed, the help from the NGOs, like the water supply, the food, are easily come over when there is after the typhoon. Because comparing the Philippines, from where I belong, the donations sometimes are delayed or maybe corrupted by the other politicians. But here in Macau, I see that the government is support the local here, and even giving the subsidy for every local here, compared to the Philippines that sometimes no help coming from the government.
So
For her.
For her. For me.
For me, I think the government of Macau is, the Macau resident is quite lucky, very very lucky, because the government really helped them. Yeah, like what her said about the subsidy. I heard, diba, when the typhoon strike, I think they don't need to pay the water or the
Yes, 2 months.
for 2 months, or the electric for 2 months. That's a big help already for,
And we also give 10,000
and extra money for the ones who are really really affected. I heard that. Then but it's not a way of discrimination for me, but for me normal because we are not resident. Of course, the government will first prioritize the resident. Of course, it's normal. Because I really understand that they are not used in that kind of calamity. Unlike us, we know we could survive. We could find a way on how to survive that thing. That's let's say a 1 week thing or. But for me, the government really helped the Macau residents. I really see that.
But it didn't help you, right?
Me personally, or
Personally, no.
No. Because as I observe here in Macau, racial discrimination is one of the thing here. If you are not a local resident here, first you cannot find a job for you, even though you are suitable for that job, and even you can speak Cantonese or Mandarin, you cannot pick on that position. But if you are local, you're the one who can get that job. That first, racial discrimination. And secondly, some people here are when they see some of the Filipino, we are not what do you call this? We are not hypocrite about that. They say something about Filipinos. Some of the Filipinos are bad. We have a bad attitude. We have a bad background because of the news that they heard from our country. But I want to exemplify that not all Filipinos are bad.
We admit that some are like that. Really, there is, because we people have different attitudes, right? Some are like that, some are not like that. We admit. For example, during the typhoon, we heard the news about
Some Filipino rob.
not what happened, looting. Looting. Most of the people are panic buying, or they are getting what are the things that are throw already in the garbage. They're still getting it because as Filipinos, for example, we survive. For example, a 7-Eleven throws everything in there. Yeah, it's already soaked in the water, but do you think canned goods will get dirty if it's canned? It's really sealed. For example, I heard some of the Filipinos do that. Getting things from the, yeah, it's really bad. But if something like that happen, I think you should. That's the way how you.
It is a practical way
to survive.
That's the mindset of some Filipinos here. They need to go to the garbage, and then afterwards, if they look that thing can be benefited or can be used, then they will get it and use it.
For example, you see in the garbage, one case or one bottle, it's still sealed. Of course,
But
if you see,
dirty.
but gets only soaked in the flood for 1 hour. But you saw the bottled water, the water inside, it's clear, it's clean. Of course, you don't have any other choice. You really need a water. You need to drink it.
You have no choice.
You have no choice. I know you understand like that, right? If you are stuck in a place where everything is nothing already, and you saw only a water, or not really only a water, a canned goods,
That's a strategy
or maybe
of survival.
a snacks, but not open, not tiered. There is no water inside.
Can be it. Because as we see the expiration date, it will not expire already. So we Filipinos, we think that we can eat that. We will not get poison after we eat that.
Yeah, most of the Filipinos really do that.
But you think that the local person see you guys do
the local
they
people
will-
see us do that. That's why maybe for them,
They generalize it.
that most of the Filipinos.
Most of the Filipino are doing like that.
Ah.
And as I heard, because I am a tourist here, they called some Filipinos are lapsa. Di ba? When we say lapsa, it is a trash or a garbage. Lapsa.
Yeah.
See how it hurt for me to hear that thing. Because me, as a tourist, I respect all the Chinese people that I see. I respect them because I am a stranger here. So I need to follow the rules. I need to obey what the rules are being applied for this country, so that I can disrule the rule. But in vice versa, on my feelings, I get hurt when I heard that they call that Filipino are lapsa, because I see and I believe that we Filipinos are not lapsa.
From where did you hear the local guy called Filipino as Lhasa?
I don't actually hear directly from a local guy that they call me lapsa. But most of my friends, when I talk to them, they said that, they say that we Filipinos are lapsa. That's why I know that some of the Chinese people call the Filipino are lapsa.
But there's also news because during the typhoon there's a Filipino man who saved local.
That saved the local.
I don't know, is a local woman or
A local woman.
A
Yeah.
local woman.
yes, and the media.
He gets reward from that
Gets
Yeah,
reward.
yeah.
Actually, he is working in
at
our
in
company.
Oh,
Venetian.
okay.
In our company. That's-
Miliares?
Yes, I heard that our company first gave him an award, and I heard the local resident also give him a
Him a
reward.
reward.
I think also from the government, and also from
He's being recognized.
and
here
also
now.
from our country, our president give him a reward,
A reward and a
For-
recognition. Being a hero
Yeah.
in that time.
But for me, the thing he do, it's very good. But in the Philippines, always many more stories of heroism
Heroism.
during typhoon. Just like that. But I'm very happy for him that he
We
do
salute-
it.
we salute him.
Because who will do that during the strong typhoon? Then very high. Who would give a time saving a woman? From the news, from
Who among the people in Macau who can give his life to save for another life?
because I heard, diba, he doesn't even know how to swim.
He don't listen.
He just risk his life. Then I think someone just throw
a styro.
a styro or so he could float and he could save the old lady's life.
That being stranded in the blood.
That's why he's very lucky because after the things he done, I think many good fortune come to him. And that's a little reason why at least we Philippines are uplift
Athlete.
of what he did, because at least here in Macau, Filipinos like this, like that, at least that is a good news, a little good
About the
news about
Filipinos.
the Filipinos. At least they appreciate the Macau government appreciate what
A little work of a Filipino.
work of a Filipino.
Yes, but you said that many Filipino help others during typhoon.
Hmm?
Did you mention that many Filipino actually helps others during typhoon?
In our country.
In our
In
country.
our country. Okay.
Yes. There is a traditional way in the Philippines that when there is a typhoon, every others are helping to survive. For example, Kelvin live on that side. Then I live here. And my place is not get flooded. So I have the access to call a police, to call a rescue for him Tukel being saved from that area. So I will call a rescue for him to save from the flood. That's one thing that we can help each other. And even for example, I have a lot of foods. I can give him, or I can share my other foods to him. So that's mean we have what to call it, a kamadiri, kamadiri, yeah. Which is giving and helping each other.
Yes. So, what will you suggest to the local government when the typhoon came next time?
I think the best suggestion that I can give to the local government here in Macau is they need to rehabilitate. They need to, what do you call this? Build a drainage for the flood, because that's one reason why they experienced the flood. There is no good drainage here in Macau. That's it. And be alert and aware on the weather. And I think they should hire a good forecaster, weather forecaster.
Okay.
Because they don't give accurate weather forecast. If they will hire a good weather forecaster, it will avoid that they will spread the news that is not accurate, right? So that the people are being alert, being aware what is the true happening about the typhoon, so they can prepare the things.
Do you have any suggestion?
For me, I think it's her opinion. For me, I think the government really do something. But about the weather forecaster, the one who stepped down, I think it's too much because the government really, most of the people really blame him. I think it's a guy, right? Because for me, you can predict the weather, but you cannot really predict the accuracy of the, because it's a weather.
No.
But
Because they use the equipment.
yeah, I know they have already modern equipments for the weather, but still it's a weather. You're only a man who is.
No.
I don't know, but
Because
it's my opinion.
in the Philippines, they can detect which the amount of volume of water will pour from the territory.
Okay.
That's why they can predict if there is a super typhoon or a typhoon only. Even in Japan, they use an equipment.
I think it's too much that
Okay.
the blame that the
Okay.
cheap weather forecast
Okay.
has taken. But now, as I saw, they're doing the drainage system. They're improving it hopefully. So at least they will be more prepared if ever a strong typhoon will come here again, because it's already global warming, right? Global warming. So the changes in the weather, it really happens. Before, I heard the winter season starts at this month, for example September or October. Now last year it started December or November. They said
October.
too late already.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think the government should just be ready and maybe prepared some programs or
Yes, a training
a training.
for the rescue team and a boat, so that when there is a flood, they can go to the houses and they can rescue for the people who are being stuck on the flood. And also, what I think, first, the news must be responsible in spreading the news, because if you are spreading a fake news or not an accurate news, what will happen? There is something bad happen, because if you are heard that there's a super typhoon, but unfortunately the typhoon is not super, just a typhoon, what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
You get panic. You're gonna drive crazy because you don't know what to do. Because there's a super typhoon. I don't want to experience again what happened last year about Hatu. See? But if the news, are spreading accurate news, the people will be aware, more prepared, and more alert on what they gonna do for the typhoon.
So when the next typhoon comes, what are you expect that the government should support to the foreign neighbors?
I think what they do the last time, they give foods, they give water, they give subsidy also.
So only food and water is.
Yes. Because it's the basic
That's the basic
necessity.
thing.
That's the basic necessity of every living.
If you lost everything, the basic thing you need is food, water, clothes, and
Clothes and
house,
shelter.
Okay.
That's the basic thing you need when you lost everything.
Yes. So you don't expect any donation or any.
If there is a monetary donation, it's more convenient.
quite good.
It's quite good. But for example, if you experience scenario that even you have money, there is no shop open, still useless, right?
Yes.
I mean, you have money, but
You cannot
all
buy
the
food.
stores is closed. Or all the things you need in the stores is no more. So
You cannot eat your money, right?
from the government itself, maybe they should do a prepared
Stocks.
prepared alertness team or
Alertness team.
that
A committee.
committee that during typhoon that is the first team or committee that will
Standby.
be alert on, for example, this area is affected, so this team will go to this area, then all the basic things are already prepared, like not really food, for example, rice, canned goods,
Canned goods.
or some
And water.
instant noodle, then a bottle of water, that's it.
And even a medical kit.
And even I'm medical. I'm sure. I'm most of the Chinese
The
is
first
the
aid.
tea, right, or the leaf tea,
Yes.
because usually in us Filipinos, the medicine itself they also give it.
Yes. Okay. So, because you mentioned your housemate and your co-workers who lost everything during the typhoon, would you please just introduce they to me, or just help me
Yeah,
to ask
sure.
whether they want to get interviewed with me? Because I think their story is also.
I would my friend, I would try to
I
talk to
know,
her,
I
because
know.
maybe she's busy or not, your schedule are not,
Yeah, I know.
but I could arrange a meeting with you.
Yes.
If you want, I can ask my friend from Red Market because they experience also a flood there. And maybe there is a different experience that we experience because Red Market is being affected also. So maybe you can give another information
Yes.
from them.
Yes, and also interest with your housemate who has a brotherhood.
Organization,
I think it's a very
interesting one.
interesting.
Yes.
Because he have many sisters there
Yes.
among the Macau.
Yes. I think
Yes.
that's one of the interest that you can see in this project.
Yes. So do you know how many people in her organization?
There's so many.
There's some we don't know how.
Many.
Many. Wow.
Yes. I think they have a chapter also in Hong Kong.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That's large.
Yes.
Wow.
There's a large of people in
Yeah.
their organization.
Is she the leader or is
Yeah.
she a leader?
Our housemate is one of the leader.
Wow.
So we can help you to talk to them
Yes. Okay.
and
So
introducing to their organization.
yes, that's really interesting.
I will help.
I remember or I believe that, for example, her organization, since most Filipinos, they help Filipinos who are affected during the typhoon itself. But I believe also maybe there are some different nationality have of course organization that help each help themselves also. It's more better also if you could talk other nationality. Yeah.
Yes. Even the Nepalese,
Yeah.
that time, we observed that some of the Nepalese are help also and give food on the in front of Sansan's park.
Hmm. So you think that the Filipino come out to the street and give the people food and water will improve the Filipinos' image?
Yes.
Why do you so think it's very important? Do you think
It is very important to show up that we Filipinos are helping, because it can build a good image for us. Because as we observe, many of people here are discriminating Filipinos. See, because we have a bad record or a bad background. So in that situation, we showcase that we Filipino, we have a good character. We can help. We can help each other. We can teach on how we survive because we experience the typhoon most of our lives in the Philippines. So I think it's a big help for us to showcase ourselves during the typhoon, to build a good image.
Yes.
For me, yeah, that just like what she said, most of us really experience typhoon every year.
Not every year, every month.
No, for example, in 1 month 4 typhoon or 3 typhoon,
Five
like that.
typhoon.
That's why they said that's why the joking, not really the joking. All the typhoon names in the Philippines started from letter A
To say.
to Z. So alphabet is 26. So sometimes we experience 26 typhoons
Okay.
in a year.
In a year.
Okay.
So from our experience, we really used to it. We know how to survive or what to do. And for example, and as Filipinos, we have a really helping kind of attitude that if we saw someone need help,
We help.
We help.
We help.
So
We can help.
did you use any survive skill during this typhoon?
me personally, I don't use. But look at what happened. Look what the Filipino hero do, right? That's a rescue thing. That's a skill.
He do a strategy.
He do a
on
strategy on how
he gonna save the old woman.
old woman.
Even
Me.
though he don't know how to swim,
He find a way.
he find a way.
Me, after the typhoon, I really do this. Me and my friend after the typhoon walk outside. Then near the park, the Sansco in our area, there's that place is really affected also, right? And we saw an old lady there. She's really really cold and really look really sad, really afraid. Then what we do, we don't understand it, but we feel that the lady wants to go to her house already, go up. I think it's second floor or first floor, but she cannot go up.
She cannot go.
That's why we tell them. I think four of us Filipino, we don't know the other two, but me and my friend, we let the old lady sit. Then we carry the whole chair, including the lady sitting there. We bring her to her house. I mean, that kind of thing. We don't know what she feels, but what she's thinking or what she's saying, but we know what she needs. And of course, that's an old lady. It's like our grandmother or mother already. That's why we really help her. I mean, in that way, at least we show her kind to her. And also, The funny thing I saw when I go home from work, especially late night, I still saw a long queue of people. Wow, we saw some of the Filipinos, which is usually in the Philippines do. We just washing clothes in the street
Okay.
near the, for example, near the water hydrant. Wow, we also saw Chinese doing like that already. I mean, I'm not used in seeing a Chinese or a local people doing things like that. I mean, like what Filipinos doing also. I mean, at least for me, I don't know if they already know it, but at least for me, I show that
They learn from us.
or
Okay.
unity. I mean, they share water.
Okay.
They doing things the same but different.
Okay.
Different nationality.
Because that's the best way. For example, all of your clothes are already sink in the flood. Then, of course, you wash first your...
Yes.
And I observed after the typhoon, Filipino and Chinese have cooperation, unity, like what he said, a unity, ban as one.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot see or you cannot define who is rich, who is poor.
After the typhoon, all the people are just the same.
Okay.
You understand that? I mean,
Yeah.
money is not... Don't have a value.
Does not matter.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter because all of us need only one something, food and water.
Food and water.
Yes.
For me, that's
And even the Chinese, they don't know how to get water from the water hydrant and
Okay.
fetch it and bring it.
the very funny thing. Me, the big water container, I carry it on my back. Then one thing, I still hold it like that. One time, I saw 4 ladies
Uh-huh.
For the
carrying
Chinese.
only a one pail of water. Wow, they're having a hard time. Me, I could carry it only one
In
hand,
one hand.
then go up. I mean that small thing. They are not. I know most of the Chinese really are not used to it.
But they learn.
Yeah.
But they learn how to
Because
get water.
because I heard also some of the Chinese when that thing happened, they go to Shuhai,
Uh-huh.
they go
Shuhai.
Hong Kong. They leave Macau
Uh-huh.
for a week just
Uh-huh.
not to experience
The-
the hard thing
thing.
that calamity.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the people check in the hotel, stayed in the hotel, so they have electric, they have water, they have food.
Uh-huh.
But what some of the people do, diba? They just stay at the house, they queue up.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's the time, money doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It matters if there is a store open.
Yeah. Yes. Most of the mechanics and most of the Chinese, they lack the knowledge to facing
Yeah,
the
because I heard some of the people
disaster.
leave their house. They
Leave their
go
house.
Hong Kong or then they go
They check in
Zhuhai.
the
They check in the
hotel.
hotel. I mean, they are afraid to go home. Then they just go home after a week when the condition is already a bit okay.
Yeah. Yes. I heard this news also.
And I also remember even the Hong Kong government helped also the Macau. They send army.
And then Chinese.
The Chinese? Yes. We see a lot of Chinese people who clean
from the government.
from the government
The Chinese, I think it's a Chinese military.
military
Mhm.
To the one that help in
Cleaning-
cleaning all the
cleaning
the
cleaning
remaining
the remaining
garbage.
garbages.
Yes.
Because it's so many garbage, limited truck. Then on the dump site where they throw it, already full. So what to
Yes.
do? The first day, it's still okay, but the second day, the third day, the smell,
The smell
it's
is
not
not
good already.
Also,
For me, that's a memorable experience that happened here in Macau. I will always remember it.
Me also.
I mean, a good learning also, diba? Diba, I tell you, in the Philippines, I experienced typhoon, but I never experienced it that way.
yeah.
That I would really
Face to face.
face to face with the typhoon. Then really have a hard time getting only the basic things that you need: food, water.
Yes, that's why you feel very excited at the beginning when the typhoon hit.
Yes.
But it's really, really a big problem
Yes.
then. Okay, so thank you very much for your help today.
Thank you also.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you
it's
also.